안녕하세요. In this lesson, we are going to talk about adjective predicates and the particle 에게 and 한테. Let's start. Let's talk about adjective predicates a little bit. It's nothing. What you need to know is the fact there is no such a thing as be verb in Korean, like is, am, and are. So Korean adjectives conjugate as verbs do when they are used as a predicate. Of course, they conjugate differently when they are used as a modifier. Where you say, she's pretty, this adjective pretty is used as a predicate. But when you say, she is a pretty girl, this adjective pretty is used as a modifier. And we are going to talk about all kinds of modifiers in lesson 6. Now, let's make these two sentences. My girlfriend is pretty and my boyfriend is handsome. Let's learn how to say my girlfriend is pretty first. Girlfriend is 여자친구 in Korean. My girlfriend, 제 여자친구. Let's use the topic particle. 제 여자친구는. Please ignore the be verb is. Pretty. The base form of the adjective pretty is 예쁘다. The stem is 예쁘. She is pretty. Present simple, so we add the ending 어요. The last letter of the stem is 뿌, and it doesn't have a final consonant. Thus, it has to be combined with the sound of the ending 어요. But there is no compound vowel which consists of the vowel and the vowel. So you need to get rid of one of these two vowels. The vowel of the ending 어요 is considered to be a stronger sound than the vowel. So you get rid of vowel in the p sound and add 어요. So it is not 예쁘어요, but it's 예뻐요. 제 여자친구는 예뻐요. My girlfriend is pretty. That's it. Let's see the next sentence. My boyfriend is handsome. This one is a little bit different. I'll tell you what is different very shortly. Boyfriend is 남자친구 in Korean. My boyfriend, 제 남자친구는. Please ignore the be verb is. Handsome. Strangely, the word which is used to mean handsome in Korean is not an adjective, but it is a verb. The base form of this verb is 잘생기다. The stem is 잘생기, but you cannot use the present simple tense ending 어요 because 잘생기다 is a verb. You need to add a past tense ending 없어요 instead of 어요, even though it is in the present simple tense. This is not very difficult to understand because the same thing happens in English too. Tire, bore, and satisfy are all verbs. But if you put them in the past participle form, tired, bored, and satisfied, you can use them like an adjective, right? Something similar applies in Korean too. Probably your real question will be, why is 잘생기다 an adjective in the first place while it means handsome? Please don't ask. Nobody knows. I have my own theory though. FYI, 잘 means well, and 생기다 means like something created, manifested, appears. You created a well when you're born or before you're born, so you're handsome. Anyway, the stem 잘생기 plus the past tense ending 없어요. The last letter of the stem 기 doesn't have a final consonant, thus it has to be combined with the sound of 없어요. The e vowel and the vowel make the 여 vowel together, as you know. So 기 plus makes 곁 sound together. So 잘생겼어요. My boyfriend, 제 남자친구는 handsome. 잘생겼어요. 제 남자친구는 잘생겼어요. One of the main things I wanted to tell you on this page is you should remember the fact that English and Korean are very different languages. An adjective in English can be a verb in Korean. Of course, I use English to explain the grammar, but you should try to learn Korean as it is. If you don't want to remember this as a grammar, then you can just memorize pretty is 예뻐요, but handsome is 잘생겼어요. It's up to you. Next sentence. My boyfriend is ugly. As the word which means handsome is a verb in Korean, the word which means ugly is also a verb. The base form is 못생기다. As I said, 잘 basically means well. 못 here basically means cannot or not capable. In my opinion, 못생기다 doesn't sound as mean as English ugly. It sounds kind of cute, but it's just my opinion. The stem is 못생기, and the past tense ending 없어요. 못생겼어요. 제 남자친구는 못생겼어요. It's in the past tense form, but it indicates the present tense. You might wonder how you put this verb in the actual past tense then, as you say, my boyfriend was ugly, since you've already used the past tense ending. We'll talk about this later, no worries. Next example. I am angry. The same thing. The word we use in Korean to mean to be angry is a verb, not an adjective. So being angry is an action in Korean. The base form is 화나다. The stem is 화나. In order to use it as an adjective or to use it to express a certain state, you need to put it in the past tense form. The stem 화나 plus the ending 왔어요. The last letter of the stem 나 doesn't have a final consonant, so it has to be combined with at sound of 왔어요. 화났어요. 저 화났어요. I didn't use either the topic particle 는 or the subject particle 이가 for the subject 저 this time because there is no particular reason for me to use it here. No need to provide a nuance of comparing or express the meaning of if I talk about myself here. I just simply want to say I am angry. I didn't use the subject particle 이가 for the same reason. No reason to express it is me who's angry. Or emphasize the subject I as if you say I am angry, considering the context and the situation in my head. So 저 화났어요 sounds fine. If you want to mean I am getting angry now, you can just add a present continuous tense compound expression 고 있어요 to the stem 화나. 화나고 있어요. 저 지금 화나고 있어요. I am getting angry now. I said it was going to be about adjective predicates, but I mostly talked about the verbs which are used like an adjective in the past tense form because there's nothing new about adjective predicates. Adjective predicates in Korean conjugate as verbs do. That's all. Now let's learn how to use the particle 에게 and 한테. These two particles are not a set. These are two independent particles, but with the same usages. These two particles are basically used to mean to someone. Let's see the examples right away. I gave my friend a gift or a present. When you want to make sentences like this in Korean, it would be better if you use I gave a gift to my friend using the preposition to. It would be easier for you to understand the usage of the particle 에게 and 한테 that way. The word order is going to be more like I, to my friend, a gift, gave. A gift is something the subject I take an action on. So it is the direct object. My friend is the receiver of the action gave. And the destination of the object, a gift. 제가. I used the subject particle 이가 this time. No particular reason. To my friend. You use the particle 에게 or 한테 for this part. My friend is 제 친구. To my friend, 제 친구에게 or 제 친구한테. A gift. A gift or present in Korean is 선물. It's the object of the verb gave. So you can add the object particle 을. 선물을. Gave. The base form of the verb to give is 주다. It's in the past tense, so you add a past tense ending, 었어요. The 주 sound and the 엇 sound should combine together, and it makes 줬 sound. 줬어요. 제가, to my friend, 제 친구에게, or 제 친구한테, a gift or a present, 선물을, gave, 줬어요. 제가 제 친구에게 선물을 줬어요. Or 제가 제 친구한테 선물을 줬어요. The particle 에게 sounds a bit more literary and formal. So you usually use 한테 in spoken Korean, which means you can remember only 한테 if you don't want to remember both. Most importantly, you can use this particle 에게 and 한테 only for living things, usually humans or animals, but can be insects or plants too. Let's see the next example. I'll send an email to my mother tomorrow. The same things apply. An email is the object of the action send. You take an action on email, which means an email is the direct object. My mother is the receiver and the destination of the object on email. To my mother. The future tense is used with will, so let's use the compound expression 을 거예요. The word order is going to be like this. The subject I comes first, the time-related noun tomorrow comes right after, and to my mother comes because the direct object on email has a closer relationship with the verb send will or will send. I, tomorrow, to mother, an email, send will. 저는, tomorrow, 내일. You cannot add a particle 에 because 내일 can be an adverb as well. To mother, I got rid of the possessive my here because Koreans don't really say my mother. They might say our mother instead. If you don't add any possessive, people would just think you are talking about your own mother. Mother can be 어머니. It can be 엄마 too. 엄마 sounds closer to mom though than mother. To mother, 엄마한테 or 어머니에게. An email. Email is just 이메일 in Korean. It's a direct object of the verb send. So you can add the object particle 을, 이메일을, but it can be omitted. Send will or will send. The base form of the verb to send is 보내다. The stem is 보내. And the last letter 네 doesn't have a final consonant. So you add a final 르 consonant and 거예요. 보낼 거예요. 저는 tomorrow, 내일, to mother, 엄마한테, or 어머니에게, an email, 이메일을, send will, 보낼 거예요. 저는 내일 엄마한테 이메일을 보낼 거예요. 저는 내일 어머니에게 이메일을 보낼 거예요. I'll send an email to my mother tomorrow. As I said, this is just the usual order. You can swap the position of 엄마한테 and 이메일을, and it will sound as clear, because the particles will show the exact role of that word in the sentence anyway. But you usually position the word you want to emphasize right in front of the verb, just in case you wonder. For example, if you think an email is more important, you position it right before the predicate send. If you think to mother is more important, you can position it right before the verb send, like to my mother, not to my father. You emphasize the to mother part. Next, that bear is coming to us now. The usual word order in Korean would be that bear now to us is coming. That bear, the bear is not in a touching distance, but you can still see it over there. Then you use the determiner 저. Bear is 곰 in Korean. That bear, 저 곰. Let's use the subject particle. 저 곰이. Now, 지금, no particle, just 지금. To us. To us or towards us, doesn't matter. Us indicates living things, which would be you and the person or the people with you, or your dog. So you can use either 에게 or 한테. Let's use 한테 because it's more useful in spoken Korean. We, us, even our can all be 우리. You don't need to change the form because we have particles. To us, 우리한테. Us is the destination and the direction of the bear. Destination and the direction sounds familiar, doesn't it? It might remind you of the particle 으로로. So if you use a noun, which is not a living thing, such as a car, then you cannot use 에게 or 한테. You need to use 으로로. Let's talk about this very soon. Anyway, to us, 우리한테, is coming. It's in the present continuous tense. Yes, you can still use the present simple tense form to express the present continuous tense in Korean, but let's use the actual present continuous tense form with the compound expression 고 있어요. The base form of the verb to come is 오다. 오고 있어요. Is coming. That bear, 저 곰이, now, 지금, to us or towards us, 우리한테, is coming, 오고 있어요. 저 곰이 지금 우리한테 오고 있어요. If you use a noun which indicates a non-living thing, such as a car, then you should use the particle 으로로. That bear, now, to our car, is coming. That bear, 저 곰이, now, 지금, to our car. You can still use 우리 to mean our, and a car is 차. Our car, 우리 차. And the destination and direction particle, 로. To our car, or towards our car. 우리 차로, is coming, 오고 있어요. 저 곰이 지금 우리 차로 오고 있어요. One last thing. Amazingly, you can combine 에게 and 한테 and 으로로, and it becomes 에게로 or 한테로. It is still used only for living things. Let's use 한테로 for the first sentence. 저 곰이 지금 우리한테로 오고 있어요. Okay? Great. This is the end of lesson 4 part 6. There are still many particles you need to learn in this lesson 4. Let's keep starting together. 안녕히 계세요.